The Australian Baseball League is back for season number 13 since it was relaunched 13 years ago. The 40-game regular season schedule begins on Friday, November 17th. Look on the calendar and you'll notice that's today. A little late with this preview. They'll play the season in 10 rounds. Each round is a 4-game series played mostly on the weekend. Each team plays 8 games against each other team, 4 at home and 4 on the road. Every team gets 20 games at home and 20 on the road. Regular season ends on January 21st. The top 4 teams will then move on to the postseason, which starts on the 26th. The championship series will be held from February 2nd to the 4th. Unlike last season, there will only be 6 teams playing this year. The original 6 ABL teams, the Adelaide Giants, Melbourne Aces, Perth Heat, Brisbane Bandits, Canberra Cavalry, and the Sydney Blue Sox. Since 2017, the Auckland Tuatara and Geelong Korea had taken part in the ABL, but during this past off-season, both teams announced they would no longer be doing so. Auckland was hurting financially after they had to sit out for 2 years because of COVID. Really a shame because they were attracting quite large crowds before COVID, and they were unable to regain that momentum when they returned last year. For Geelong Korea, it was always a project where they were going to lose money, shipping a whole team full of KBO prospects down to Australia. Games can be streamed on Baseball Plus. This is the new streaming service replacing Baseball On Demand, which was used last year. It's free to set up an account. You can see all ABL games there, as well as Australian national team games. Let's start with the reigning champions. Last year, the Adelaide Giants won the Claxton Shield for the first time. They became the 5th team to earn an ABL championship. Perth and Brisbane have each won 4 titles, Melbourne 2, Adelaide 1, and Sydney 0. If you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan, Adelaide should be your team. 10 Phillies prospects, 2 Australians and 8 imports, will be on Adelaide's roster. Other teams with a noticeable presence are the Cincinnati Reds and the KBO's Samsung Lions. Let's look at Adelaide's roster, starting on the field. 3 young players will battle for time at catcher, 2 of them Phillies prospects who reached high single-A Jersey Shore over the summer. One is 22-year-old Venezuelan Andrek Nava, a switch hitter with a .333 on-base percentage over the summer. The other one is Anthony Kirion, a member of last year's Giants championship team. And they've also got Byung-Hyun Lee, a 24-year-old catcher from the Samsung Lions of the KBO. He played in 23 games for the Lions over the summer. At first base, there's 23-year-old left-handed hitter Rickson Wingrove, from Australia's WBC team last spring. Over the summer at high single-A Jersey Shore, 15 home runs with a .769 OPS. At second base, there's Nick Ward. What a year he's had. After being the runner-up for the MVP of the last ABL season, he played for Great Britain in the WBC. After that, he played at high single-A Jersey Shore, where he had a .392 on-base percentage and was 22 out of 25 in stolen base attempts. And now he's back for another season in Adelaide. Last year, his line was .344, .418, .643. At third, Chicago Cubs prospect Liam Spence. Over the summer at high single-A South Bend, a .346 on-base percentage in 36 games. Last year with Adelaide, he had a .775 OPS, on his way to being named ABL Rookie of the Year. At shortstop, 23-year-old Phillies prospect Kendall Simmons. 50 games at Jersey Shore last summer, with an .856 OPS. One utility player in Josh Altman, a former Texas Rangers prospect. Last summer, 98 games in the American Association, with 26 home runs and 21 steals, without ever getting caught. In the outfield, 34-year-old Quincy Lattimore. He's played several years in the ABL, including last year in Adelaide, where he had a .785 OPS. 25-year-old left-handed hitter Jordan McArdle, a former Diamondbacks prospect and a member of Australia's WBC team. He was the hero of the Giants championship team last season, when he hit 3 home runs in the 3-game championship series. Last year, 9 home runs in 37 games, with a .504 slugging. On to the pitchers. Toru Murata brings MLB and NPB experience to the rotation. Last played in NPB with the Fighters in 2021. This will be his first season in Adelaide, but not his first in the ABL. He played for Auckland last year. 9 starts, 43 innings, and an ERA of .335. Jack O'Loughlin brings near MLB experience. He played at AAA last summer with an ERA of .478 in 86 innings. He was the starting pitcher in Game 3 of the Championship Series last season, and pitched in the WBC. Austin Ross also has AAA experience. That came in 2021 with the Phillies. This will be his 3rd season in Adelaide. Out of the bullpen, he's allowed just 1 run in 23 2/3 innings in his first 2 ABL seasons. This season, he's converting to a starting pitcher. In the bullpen, South African-born Mitch Nieuwenborn, a returning Adelaide Giants reliever and a Phillies prospect. At Jersey Shore last summer, 10 starts, 6 relief appearances, 42 innings, ERA .338. Last year with Adelaide, 13 games, 28 innings, ERA .225. Todd Van Steensel, the team's closer, he had a couple moments last year that he may never be able to top. One was recording the final out to win it all for Adelaide in the championship series. The other one came a month later at the WBC when he struck out Shohei Ohtani. He recorded 5 saves with the Giants last year. Oscar Nakaoshi, a former Hiroshima Cart pitcher and NPB, born in Brazil and a member of Brazil's WBC qualifier team last year. A year ago with Adelaide, 18 appearances, ERA of .354. Cam Wynn, another Phillies prospect, over the summer at Jersey Shore, 34 appearances, ERA .255. The Perth Heat were 23-17 during the regular season last year, winners in the semifinals, and were 1 win away from claiming their 5th ABL title. It was their 3rd runner-up finish in the last 4 seasons. A lot of Tampa Bay Rays prospects here, 6 in all. Their catcher is the reigning ABL MVP, 24-year-old Alex Hall. He slashed .360, .440, .626 with 8 home runs in 38 games. Also at High Single A Wisconsin in the Brewers system, he hit 11 home runs in 78 games. At first base, Jake Bowie, now in his 10th ABL season. Last year he hit 8 home runs during the regular season and 5 home runs in 6 playoff games. Shortstop Ryan Spikes, a 20-year-old Rays prospect, stole 28 bases in 120 games at Single A Charleston over the summer. 19-year-old Venezuelan infielder Ricardo Cabrera, the number 8 overall prospect in the Cincinnati Reds system. At the rookie level last summer, he had a .1028 OPS with 21 steals in 39 games. Outfielder Tim Cannelli, now 36, has been with the Perth Heat since the very beginning. Last year, in 35 games, he had a .404 on-base percentage and a .508 slugging. 25-year-old South African outfielder Ulrich Bojarski, now in his 7th ABL season. Last year was his best ever, .352, .404, .628 with 8 home runs. On to the pitching, veteran right-hander Warwick Saupold, former MLB and KBO starting pitcher, hoping to get back to where he used to be after posting a .566 ERA last season. 25-year-old lefty Kobe Foster, last summer in the Frontier League, 17 starts, 101 innings, 94 strikeouts, ERA .266. This will be his first season in the ABL. Tyler Beardsley had a .0.98 ERA in 4 starts, 18 1/3 innings with Perth last year. In the summer he played in the American Association with a .365 ERA and 19 starts. In the bullpen, 21-year-old Samuel Mejia, last summer playing rookie ball in the Rays organization, 16 relief appearances, 24 2/3 innings, ERA .146, WHIP .0.689, 11.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Another Rays rookie baller, 20-year-old lefty Cesar De Jesus, 16 appearances, 25 innings, ERA .288, 10.8 strikeouts per 9, but a high WHIP at 1640. During the regular season, it was the Brisbane Bandits who led the way. 30 wins, 10 losses. They set a new ABL record for highest winning percentage. Unfortunately for them, it did not carry into the playoffs. They lost in the semifinals to Perth in 3 games. They'll be without a couple veterans from last year. TJ Bennett and Donald Lutz both retired, as did manager David Nilsson, but they've still got some veteran leadership as well as some new young talent. One of the vets is catcher Ryan Battaglia, who's been a Bandit ever since the league's relaunch. Missed most of last season due to injury. 24-year-old second baseman Dermot Fritsch 3 years ago was ABL Rookie of the Year, but he struggled last year with an OPS of .493 in 17 games. 24-year-old infielder Jack Pineda played at High Single A Quad Cities in the Royal system, .344 on-base percentage and 16 out of 19 in stolen bases. 20-year-old Brewers prospect Tayden Hall can play first, catcher, and the outfield. In 49 games at Single A Carolina last summer, he had a .406 on-base percentage, but absolutely no power. He has not hit a home run in his 2 years in the minors. 19-year-old Royals prospect Milo Rushford, a left-handed hitting outfielder. Last summer in the Rookie League, 32 games, 9 steals, OPS .982. Outfielder Daniel Nilsson had his best season with the Bandits a year ago, 28 games with an OPS of .810. Now for the pitchers, 29-year-old right-hander Sam Holland, a starter/reliever. Last year, 7 starts, 8 relief appearances, totaling 42 innings. ERA .214, WHIP .1071. This will be his 9th ABL season, all with the Bandits. Lefty Ryan Bollinger, 5 years ago he made it to AAA in the Yankees system. Last year pitched in the CPBL. 3 years pitching in Brisbane, but not since the 2019 to 2020 season. Carter Hope, last year with Brisbane, 20 games, 29 and 2/3 innings, ERA 121, WHIP 978, one of the ABL's best relievers last year. Brewers prospect Sam Gardner, high single A Wisconsin over the summer, 22 games, 44 innings, ERA 222, WHIP 1321, and 11.9 strikeouts per 9 innings. 21-year-old Rangers prospect Kai Noah Wynyard is coming off a great season at low single A down east. 24 games, 41 and 2/3 innings, ERA 238, WHIP 1080, and 9.3 strikeouts per 9. The Melbourne Aces won the Claxton Shield for the 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 21 seasons. They appeared to be building a dynasty, but that canceled season after that took their momentum away, and last year they missed the playoffs. This year they'll try to get back to the top, with the presence of Texas Rangers and Oryx Buffaloes additions, combined with some longtime veterans. 22-year-old Chris Burke returns at catcher. Last year he had a .323 on-base percentage in 25 games. Also saw limited time in the Rookie League of the Royals organization over the summer. He may be challenged for playing time by 22-year-old Rangers prospect Tucker Mitchell. This past summer at high single A Hickory, 50 games, 9 home runs, slash line 258, 352, 440. 31-year-old infielder Greg Bird played 4 seasons with the New York Yankees from 2015 to 2019. He played in just 11 games in Indie Ball in Quebec last summer. Darryl George is an ABL legend, back for his 11th season in Melbourne. Last year he hit 5 home runs in 23 games, and he holds several of the Aces' all-time offensive records. Another legend in the infield, Robbie Glendinning, played at AAA Norfolk in the Orioles system last summer, with an .807 OPS in 33 games. Last year in Melbourne he hit 6 home runs in 35 games, with an OPS of .824. In the outfield, 27-year-old Aaron Whitefield brings some recent MLB experience. Last played for the Angels in 2022. 3 years ago in Adelaide, he had a .983 OPS, but struggled at the plate a year ago in Melbourne. 22-year-old Rangers prospect Zion Bannister from the Bahamas reached the AAA level for the first time last summer, though just for 1 game. 23-year-old Ryu Sugisawa will be looking to improve himself after making a brief NPB debut over the summer with the Oryx Buffaloes. Randy Wynn just made his Major League debut with the Reds this year, 2 1/3 innings of relief, 1 run allowed. At AAA Louisville he made 13 starts and 16 relief appearances. Could be a starter or a reliever. John Kennedy, a former Atlanta Braves AAA prospect, back for season number 11 with the Aces. Last year he made 13 appearances with an ERA of .255. 22-year-old Yui Tomai made his NPB debut this year with the Oryx Buffaloes, throwing 2 scoreless innings of relief. 25-year-old Kaide Yokoyama also made his NPB debut with the Buffaloes, allowing 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Evan Rutsky back for a second season in Melbourne. Last year he had a .343 ERA and 21 innings of relief. Even better this year in the Frontier League, 22 2/3 innings, ERA 159. 25-year-old Christian James had a great summer in the Frontier League, 45 games, ERA of .224, 65 Ks in 52 innings. 24-year-old Rangers prospect Michael Brewer had a .261 ERA and 9 appearances at Single A Hickory, but then struggled on the mound after his promotion to Double A Frisco. The Canberra Cavalry just missed making it to the playoffs a year ago. This year's roster includes 5 players from the KBO's Kia Tigers, as well as a few from Major League organizations and the DNA Baystars of NPB. Robbie Perkins figures to be the team's catcher, now entering his 10th season with the Cavalry. Last year he hit 4 home runs and stole 6 bases in 34 games. Infielder Ed Howard is a 21-year-old Cubs prospect, played at high single A South Bend over the summer. He'll be leaving the team around mid-season. 26-year-old infielder Scott McKeon, another Cubs prospect, spent the summer between high single A South Bend and Double A Tennessee. Hit well in single A, not so much in Double A. In the outfield, 37-year-old Michael Campbell, back for a 7th ABL season, hoping to bounce back. 3 years ago he had an on-base percentage of .391. Last year it was down to .284. Starting pitchers, 34-year-old lefty Kevin McGovern pitched in the American Association over the summer. 19 starts, 118 innings, 101 strikeouts, ERA .311, WHIP .1188. Lefty Kodai Hamaya pitched for 6 years in NPB and later in both Mexican leagues and the Italian League. A full-time reliever in Japan, but has done a mix of starting and relief in recent years. 23-year-old lefty Ki-Hoon Kim made 29 relief appearances for the Kia Tigers this year, ERA .460. 24-year-old Billy Parsons threw 9 scoreless innings of relief for Canberra a year ago. Last summer in the Frontier League, 28 games, 36 innings, 34 strikeouts, ERA 150, WHIP 0.889. 26-year-old Tyler Lunk, another one from the Frontier League, 50 appearances, 68 innings, with an ERA of 275, WHIP 1194. The Sydney Blue Sox are the ABL's most unfortunate ball club, the only one that's never won a title. Finished last a year ago, which they often do. But 3 Pittsburgh Pirates players, a few from the Chibalote Marines organization, and some other additions to the pitching staff make this Blue Sox team look different. At catcher, they've got 24-year-old Pirates prospect Wyatt Hendry, played 62 games at high single-A Greensboro with 6 home runs, 6 stolen bases, and a .312 on-base percentage. 23-year-old infielder Raito Ikeda played in 40 NPB games with the Marines this year, slashing .269, .327, .404. 25-year-old infielder Mike Jarvis, a Pirates prospect known for speed. This year at AA Altoona, he played in 28 games and stole 11 bases without getting caught. 28-year-old infielder Zach Shepard hit 5 home runs in 28 games for the Blue Sox a year ago, OPS .817. In the outfield, there's 33-year-old David Candelas, a 12-year ABL veteran. Last year in Sydney, he batted .300, on base .364, in 20 games. They've got some big names coming to the starting rotation. 24-year-old Kyle Glogoski is a Team Australia pitcher and a Cincinnati Reds AA prospect. He pitched for the Auckland Tuatara in last year's ABL season. 34-year-old Tim Atherton, also a pitcher for Team Australia. Last year in Brisbane, he made 9 starts, 52 innings, ERA .327, WHIP .1127, and a record of 5-1. 24-year-old Ryotaro Mori made it to the NPB level with the Marines this year. 7 starts, 33 innings, ERA of 6. In the bullpen, another Marine, Shunsuke Nakamori, 13 games, 20 1/3 innings, ERA .354, WHIP .1230. And that's it, the 6 teams of the Australian Baseball League for the 2023-24 season. Make your own evaluations based on the players mentioned here. I'm no expert on the ABL, but to me it looks like Adelaide has what it takes to repeat. Perth and Brisbane will be strong again. Canberra and Melbourne I'm not so sure about. Sydney looks like they brought in all the right players. This could be the year they turn things around. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.